is going to be a series of videos designated to hunting coyotes, tips and tricks on all experience levels. I got my son with me today doing the inaugural video of this. His name is Mikey. Mikey, how old are you today?
7.
7. Good deal. How old are you going to be when we first go coyote hunting?
8 years old.
8 years old. And when was that?
May 4th.
May 4th. Going to be 8 in May. Mikey's been shooting with me, and I've been teaching him proper firearms handling techniques and trying to get him old enough and mature enough to where he can sit still and be quiet so we can get him in close. And that's what this series is going to be called, getting him in close. The tips and tricks we're going to go over are things that have worked for me, my hunting partner Justin Stevenson, John Sheets. They'll be joining me later on in the series of videos to go over their opinions, their expertise, and the things they use and the things that they do to get them dogs in close so you can do the deed, get them shot and get them on the fur rack, okay? Now, if you're a competition coyote hunter like me, there's going to be other things that go along with this series of videos that are just designated to coyote competitions, and then there's going to be things that just designated to shooting just for fur. So, but what we're going to go over today is a basic gear setup, a basic setup just to get you started. If you've never been predator hunting, if you've never been coyote hunting, this is a basic setup to get you out there, get your adventure going, get that thing that gets your blood going as a hunter, as a firearms enthusiast, whatever you want to call yourself. If you're looking for more than just deer hunting or big game hunting or whatever kind of hunting you're into, or just more than just shooting, predator hunting, coyote hunting is a blast. I've been doing it for over 30 years now, right here in the Black Hills, Wyoming, Montana, North Dakota, Nebraska, pretty much all over. I've been to Texas and Arizona and stuff like that too. So, but we're going to get on with the gear setup. First thing that we're going to go through is clothing. Now, Mikey's going to sit here. I'm going to kind of reach back here. We're in my home gym, okay? Part of my shop. The reason why we're here is 1, it's quiet. 2, it's clean. And 3, it's really set up to just do this. So if you see all the weights and equipment and everything like that, please don't sit there and go, well, this guy's crazy. No, this is where I like to set it up. The rest of my stuff is out in the shop. So when I tell Mikey to go get me something, he's going to get me something, bring it back, and we'll go over it. But otherwise, he's going to sit here and look just the way he's looking. So first thing we're going to talk about is clothing. Go out and just get some camouflage clothing. I'm not telling you to go get the best, I'm not telling you to get the worst, but I'm telling you to get something that matches the terrain that you're in. Weird, they call it camouflage for a reason. Get some good long johns, get some good socks, get some good moisture wicking away clothing. That way, when you're taking that long half-mile hike into your set, that when you get there, you're not just sweating and profusely just pouring water out of you, and then all of a sudden you're sitting in 10-degree weather with the wind blowing on you and getting hypothermia. Some of the things that I like to use, though, other than just normal camouflage clothing, 1 is a good coat setup. This is kind of my mid-weight coat setup. It's brown, it matches the terrain everywhere I hunt, like over in Wyoming and over here in South Dakota and stuff like that. I got 2 layers, that way I can ditch a layer when I start getting warm, and then when it starts getting cold, I can put it back on and go back to work. It works. It works really well. I bought it in a store on sale. I don't think I even gave 20 bucks for this. So it's not a game of who spends the most. It's a game of what works the best. Next, I have a very heavy winter coat, one that does do the trick when it's wind blowing, snowing. I gotta thank my nephew. He gave this to me as a present. It is a Sitka coat. I don't promote any brand, but this is one that I will say works the best. Comes with a nice hood. It is a very down-filled, very thick coat that just is nothing short of spectacular. And you can layer up in this when the weather starts getting a little warm during the day. But I'm telling you, when you're out there at 6 in the morning setting up, and it is nothing but just an oven for you, and that's awesome. Secondly, take a look at what's going on outside. Is it raining, snowing? Is it just wind blowing and a clear? If it's snowing and there is snow on the ground, you're going to want a good set of white camouflage setup that matches the terrain. I've got a set that I've had for probably 14 years now, and they don't even make this anymore, and it's open country, and this works spectacular. Matches most of the territory I hunt in. Matches sagebrush. I chose for the jacket and the pants. That way, if I need to get rid of the pants, I can just keep the jacket and be there and match into my terrain a lot better if I'm just sitting in a snowbank with some exposed ground also next to me. So that works really well. Next thing too, also, please, please, please go get a good set of cubbies. You will thank me for this later. I got a good set of cryptics here. They work spectacular. Block the wind, block the weather, and are extremely warm. And if you need to, you can get rid of them, put them in the vehicle, leave them there, and just go in your normal camouflage clothing. But these things will keep you warm and dry. Trust me. I've had these for 4 years now and have not looked back at anything else. Also, get yourself a style of almost ghillie suit style setup. One you can build like I'm doing here, which is incomplete right now, but it is a process. Or two, you can buy it pre-made like this. Okay? Either way you go. Like I said, it's your choice. It's what works for you. It's not what works for everybody, but it does work for you. Go get something like this. This will definitely disguise any kind of movements that you're making because the wind is blowing this, and this will disguise your movements when you need to make them. So please, please, this blends you in, so please go get something like that. That's something that you will need and or will be destined to get if you don't have it. Okay? Not secondly, but next thing on the list is footwear. Mikey's going to jump up and grab my boots down there. Go ahead, buddy. There you go. Footwear. Thank you, partner. Jump right back up there. Next thing is footwear. Get yourself a good set of boots that are waterproof, that have anywhere between 400 gram and 600 gram thinsulate. You want your feet warm and you want your feet dry. Go get a good pair of winter moisture wicking away socks. And you don't want your feet to get wet, so get a pair of waterproof winter boots with some good traction that are good brand name boots. That's one thing I will just say right now. Go get the stuff for your feet. Feet, hands, head they're immeasurable. You need them, okay? So take care of them and they will take care of you. Make sure they're comfortable. Break them in. Take the time to break them in before you go out there on season and you're walking around and all of a sudden you got blisters. Take the time to break your boots in, okay? Next thing we're going to do is once you get all your camouflage gear on and everything like that, you're all sitting there going, well, how do I pack the rest of my stuff out there? I do it 2 different ways, okay? You all right, partner? Hate them itchy noses when the camera's rolling, huh? You can call it, buddy. So I use, to get my gear out there, a chest rig and hydration pack. Now everybody says, well, what kind of gear are you packing out there? Well, I'm packing my binoculars, I'm packing my call remote, I'm packing hand calls, I'm packing extra batteries for my electronic calls. Plus I'm packing ammunition, I'm packing my extra magazines when I'm using different rifles and stuff like that to shoot with. And any kind of paperwork like different maps or maybe even scope adjustments for those long shot dogs that you're going to take. This is easy, it drapes over you, it has all the belts and buckles, snaps in, and the nice thing is you get yourself one of these, it carries the coyote back for you. You snap it around their leg, you drag it back, you don't have to use your hands and wear your grip out. You just pull. So this is altogether what I paid for it. What you see right here was probably $100, and it has become my #1 source of getting my gear out into the field. The only thing I have to carry then is my chair, my rifle, and my electronic call. The rest of it is all on me. It sits right on me right here. I sit down in my chair, the movement's less. So invest, get a setup like this. Other companies make setups that are ready to go for that. Your binocular rig setup or a backpack setup. When I first started out, can you jump up and grab me my backpack, buddy? When I first started out kind of going the competition route and stuff like that, years ago, I packed everything in this. And then just had my chair and my call in my hand. My rifle fitted down right in here. And then I kept everything else right there in my pack. Well, the thing was, I had to set my chair up. Take my, take my pack off, set it on the ground, get my rifle out, get my binoculars out, get my game call out, get everything out, and then sit down and set up. Well, that's a lot of time. And you can get pretty proficient at it, but it takes a lot of time. And so I ventured away from that very quickly and got with the chest rig, and the chest rig has done me nothing but just immeasurable amount of favor to be having right here and not a pack on me. And then I can get in and out of the vehicle also with all my stuff on and don't have to take it off. So time saver big time. Next we're going to talk about head coverings and covering your hands for winter gloves and stuff like that, because we're doing this sport in the winter, ladies and gentlemen. We're not doing it in the summer. We're doing this sport in the winter, especially where I'm at in the Black Hills of South Dakota. You know, it's still snowing and it's springtime. It's springtime, so you know it's one of those deals you want to be warm. Buddy, jump up and grab me them gloves and face masks and stuff like that. You're going to want to go and, you know, you want to spend a little money on this, okay? Yep. You want to spend a little money on all of this to keep your hands warm, keep your head warm, and for the extra camouflage. And I'm going to wait for my bud here. Okay. Beanies. Always have a beanie to protect your ears. A lot of guys will go in a ball cap that's camouflage. That's fine. I do too. But have a beanie, that way if the weather starts to turn cold, at least you got something to keep your head warm with. And I'm going to have him hang on to this stuff. 2, you're going to want a face mask, okay? Cover your face. Your face reflects light. Get a good face mask. It doesn't have to be expensive. The $5, the $10 ones that you see in those big box stores are great, or you can order up a good name brand one, like this Cryptek one. I love this thing, and it's warm too. If it's all snow and no other thing, get you a white hood. I used to be a mine rescuer, and we used to get these no-mix hoods if you're a firefighter, and we got the pure white ones, and we would buy extra ones so us coyote hunters could go out and go coyote hunting, and just throw this over our head to blend in with our surroundings. Weird. We call it camouflage for a reason. Another beanie, another Cryptek beanie, another warm, extremely warm beanie. Get something of this nature, that way you, like I said, you keep your head warm. Plus, if you carry a spare, your partners that are with you, such as your son, can keep their head warm too. Another type of face mask, it's the one that's made for definitely below zero. It wraps around your head, covers your nose, everything like that, and keeps your face completely warm in the winter. It's simple to use, quick to put on, quick to take off. But the one inherent problem is if you wear glasses like I do and you breathe hard, it fogs up your glasses. And out in the middle of the set, the last thing you want to be doing is cleaning your glasses off. Gloves, 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 and more gloves. Oh, here's one of them inexpensive face masks I was talking about. You can find them in the camouflage section of those big box stores. This was like $4, I think, on sale. Works. Trust me. Anything that keeps the reflection off your face. Gloves, gloves, and more gloves, like I was saying. Spend the money, get some mid-weight gloves, get some lightweight gloves, but get a good set of winter heavy gloves, and get those hand warmers that you can buy. Put those packs in your hands. They make electronic heating gloves now, but then remember, that's just extra batteries to pack with you. You can go put those back for me, buddy. Camouflage your hands. Skin reflects light. Light gets the attention of them coyotes. Bring me back that chair. Now we're going to get into the heart and soul of some of the gear also. When you're going out there, get yourself a seat. Thanks, buddy. Get yourself a seat. Some guys use those camping stools. That sets me up off the ground a little higher than I like. Some guys use the regular folding chairs. This is a style like that, but it's short. They call it a turkey chair. Found it in one of the big name brand stores. It was like $50. And all you do is fold it out. It gets you real close to the ground. But it keeps you off the ground. And as you can tell, the dirt and the mud and everything on this thing, and it locks in, and you can sit down comfortably and shoot them dogs. Get your rifle up on its shooting sticks, get your gear out, your binoculars. Now you're working. It takes nothing but a second to undo. It takes nothing but a second to put back. Comes with a shoulder sling. That way you can just flip it over your back, call it a day. Totally worth the investment. Get yourself a chair. You'll thank me later when you sit down on a bunch of prickly pears out in Wyoming and you go, man, I wish I really had a seat. We have 2 of these, don't we, bud? That way when I take you, you can sit in your own. So, good chair. Good chair. Next thing you're going to want to have, we'll put this down here, is a set of shooting sticks. Can you jump over and grab me that deal on the end there, bud? This is for your rifle. Okay? I'm going to get into the color. Come on, bud. You're all right. I use Swagger. I started out with a simple pair of just folding shooting sticks. Got it? All right. And then I showed these at a coyote competition, and I called up my buddy Justin before we were going to head out there, and I said, what do you think of Swagger? And he says, order me up a set if you're going to get a set. So I did. These are all adjustable. They pull out, they go right on your bipod mounting for your rifle, and they adjust to any length. They come out any length you want. So you can sit, stand, kneel, and if you do like I do, get it so tight you can't open it up. But it's a twist lock on the leg, okay? And nice thing is, it swivels, okay? I hope you can see that. This swivels up, down, sideways, and you can get out of it like this, and they just stow back in, and you can actually leave them out if you want, okay? Goes attached right to your bipod attachment, your sling swivel stud on your rifle. Easy to put on, easy to take off. Do not be out there without one of these or a set of good shooting sticks. You will thank me. If you're doing this offhand, you are doing it wrong, in my opinion. But, my opinion, you can do it offhand all you want. And I got a story for that too, but that's later. But shooting sticks are it. It is nice to get up into the chair, maneuver around. You can swing around, steady, good rest, good shot, because you always want to make that ethical, clean kill. Go ahead and put them back and grab my call there, will you, partner? The big one. Yep. Next thing, calls. They're range from just hand calls to electronic calls to things on your phone now, the Bluetooth with a speaker, and you can, but I don't like using your phone out in the territory that may or may not have a signal, that may or may have an issue of connecting or anything like that, in case those sounds need a good cell signal or a web signal to make it work. Get yourself a good call. Get yourself some good hand calls and have them both. Basically have them both. If this thing runs out of batteries and you're halfway through the day hunting, you're going to want to get on your hand calls. Nice thing about electronic calls, you can set this out away from you about 100 yards and hit the button. Also with that chest grip, guess what carries the remote? It's right here. You can set it down, let it go, and you can hold the remote right here because my chest grip folds out like a table, and I can hold the remote right here, look down, and choose the call I want. Just a trick of the trade. It took me years to figure this stuff out. I want you to go out there and be successful on your first shot. So get yourself a good game call. I use Fox Pro, Lucky Duck, Alpha Dog from Primo's. Any of those calls, I'm sorry I'm drawing a blank on some of these because I've used nothing but Fox Pro for so long. Great friend of mine, Jeff Nimnich, he's also on YouTube, runs the show Last Stand. Look at him. He used Lucky Duck calls, uses the Revolution. Amazing call. Get a hold of him and he will tell you just stories about how to do it with his calls and stuff like that. He's a world champion, so he definitely knows what he's talking about. But get a good electronic call, something that does the job, gets the sound out there, and that you have complete and utter control over. So that's the best thing I can say about the calls. We'll do a whole new video on calling later, okay? But right now, this is just getting your basic kit set up. Jump down, jump off the, here, I'll hold this, you jump down and I'll grab, oh, you gonna get her? All yourself? You're a big man there, buddy. All right, set that down there and grab my binoculars for me. Right over here. There you go. Yep, both sets. All right. Isn't he amazing? This kid does it all. Okay. Binoculars. Dealer's choice. You can go with the very expensive set like I've got here that has the rangefinder in it up to 5,000 meters. Or you can go with an inexpensive set that just sees them. It doesn't matter. You will want a set of binoculars out there. We're either hunting in close or hunting out far away. Doesn't matter. You're going to want a set of binoculars. They are probably next to your gun the most thing you're going to use besides the call. So top three things, you're going to want a gun and you're going to want a call and you're going to want a set of binoculars. It's pretty tough coyote hunting when you don't have any one of those. So I'm not a brand freak. I'm not going to sit here and say you need Leica, Zeiss, Leopold, Vortex, Swarovski, any of those. I'm not going to sit here, Sig Sauer, another great brand. I'm not going to sit here and promote them all. I'm going to tell you, find the ones that give you the best clarity for the best bang for your buck. Okay? I got a set of Vortex bow. One set my wife uses and my son has his own set. I use the Vortex 10x42 range finding binoculars in HD. These things are spectacular. And I've ranged coyotes out to 1,300 meters with these, hit them and got back an accurate measurement and actually shot and hit the coyote when he finally got into around about 1,000 meters. So, and these are just some of the stories, but get a good rangefinder and a set of binoculars or pay the money and get them all together. But you want the clearest glass you can get and take care of them. That's the reason the chest grate. They sit right here. They don't fall to the ground. And when you shoot your dogs, you can fold them up, zip them up, and walk on and not leave them behind in the field. So with the binoculars being all done, you can set them back over there, buddy. The last and most important thing, your gun, your firearm, your rifle, pistol, bow, doesn't matter. I've got an old war horse here that I use, not only in competition hunting, but in just regular coyote hunting. This thing is a football field long. It's got a 26-inch barrel, bolt action rifle. It is chambered in 6mm Creedmoor. A lot of people want me to dive into calibers and whatnot. I'm not going to dive into the scope I use. I'm not going to dive into the rifle brand I use. I'm just going to tell you the caliber I use right now. This is my competition gun. I have a suppressor on it. I do use suppressors and hunt suppressed in the states that allow me. Check your local laws and make sure you're abiding by all your laws to make sure you can own and fire upon game animals like coyotes in the state you're in with a suppressor. Okay? But I use this bolt action rifle. I also have a AR-10 set up in 6mm Creedmoor. Both of them are my competition rifles, but I'm not going to sit here and delve into guns right now in this video. I'm just saying, get a good rifle that's accurate with good optics and sight it in, and I would say sight it in at 200 yards dead on. Anything other than that, that's your choice on how you do things. That's how I do things. It's basic. That way I can hold from me to 200 yards dead and shoot and be fairly certain that I'm going to hit. I am not a sniper. Trust me, I've missed. Buck fever hits everybody. I normally keep my scope set around 12 power to 10 power through the whole hunt. Trust me, you ain't going to need anything else. I set it on the Infinity setup for parallax and we go hunting. Okay? So that's how to set up a basic kit just to get started. A lot of people say, well, that wasn't so basic. Well, it is. It's the gun, the call, the clothing, the boots, and a set of binoculars, and you're off and running. Go out, try all the gear that you can, get the gear that works, get rid of the rest, make it light, make it simple, but make it warm and make it dry. Okay? Your choice on rifles and make and manufacture. I'm not going to beat nothing to death on that. And game calls and binoculars and all that stuff. We're not going to get in that kind of war over that type of deal. But later on in the video series, like I said, my buddy Justin Stevenson and my friend John Sheets, who I've hunted with for years and years now, are going to join me in these videos. So my son Mikey is going to get his first coyote this fall. We're going to go out and stomp them, aren't we, buddy? Going to get a little fur on the post there. And this young man likes to shoot an AR-15, so that's what we're going to go get him with, huh? And he's going to build his own. That's the way it's going to go. So, signing off from Custer, South Dakota in my home gym. Mikey, you want to say anything before we go? Not really? Cat got stung? Okay. Just tell them goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye, y'all. Don't forget, this is Your Black Hills Adventure Awaits. Okay? Subscribe, like, and follow us on YouTube. And follow us on Facebook and Instagram too. So.
And be safe.
And be safe. Perfect ending. Bye.